We know all about the media outlets and the media personalities that are huge in the sports world. And one of the biggest, Colin Cowherd, he hosts The Herd, and he had some things to say about the Patriots. And usually, since the Patriots have not been that relevant in this couple of seasons, but he did say something very, very, very positive. So we're going to get into it. And you see right here, Maye wins primetime debut. Pat's now 3-2. How has Vrabel changed this franchise? And me personally, I think that he's changed this franchise a ton, and we can see it already through the first 5 weeks of the season. But now, before we get into it, the Patriots have an upcoming matchup with the Saints. And Patriots Today, they have their upcoming matchup with Saints Now by Chat Sports, hosted by Trizzy Trace Gerard. And I got a sub-battle with him. I'm going to go up against him. Now, they have a bigger channel than we do. They have 50,000 subscribers on the channel. And we only have about 31, but we're sticking close with them. They got 77 throughout this week. We are on Wednesday. We're at 59. I want those numbers to go up, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to win on the field and on YouTube to show that we are a better Chat Sports channel than Saints Now, go ahead, hit that sub button right now. All right, so let's talk about just exactly, Colin Cowherd was talking about in a good way about Mike Vrabel and also about Drake Maye. Let's start with his comments about Vrabel. And he said, now with Drake Maye being a legitimate and take two, I can't speak. Drake Maye, now with a legitimate head coach, is quickly becoming a franchise star. Vrabel is the opposite of Mike McDaniel in Miami, which is kind of hilarious to say how he's the complete opposite. He is all function and no flash. You're kind of old school football. His scheme is toughness, and that is what Vrabel is all about. And me personally, I couldn't agree more with Colin Cowherd. He is your old-fashioned, hard-nosed, we are just going to beat you up type of football. How did they beat the Buffalo Bills? They beat them down to the ground. You were aggressive. You were physical. And comparing it to Mike McDaniel, how he's just, we're going to find all these schemes and advanced analytics and doop. And that's why he's about to get fired. But with Mike Vrabel, he's completely changed his culture, and he kind of has that Dan Campbell mentality, how he's going to bite your kneecaps off, and we're going to play that old school style football. And we saw that the culture has completely changed in New England. From last year with Coach Gerard Mayo, the players really didn't care. And when I mean they didn't care, he was like, yeah, once I get out there, they're on their own. They can't really do anything. And then talked about, well, you're going to be benched, and then you're not going to be benched, and it's just like, what are we doing here? It felt like they just did not care what happened in New England with the players. Now, you go into this year, and the players clearly, they love playing for Coach Vrabel. Drake Maye talks about it every single day. Stephon Diggs has said his career has resurgence. Then he thanks Mike Vrabel as the guy that's brought him back and made him the man that he is on the Patriots. And he is a great coach for them. But Christian Gonzalez was asked specifically about head coach Mike Vrabel, and this is what he had to say. He said, I love him. He's an amazing coach, an energy guy, a big energy guy. Brings a lot of the energy to the team, the things he does, the way he coaches. It's easy to go out there and play for him. You want to go make the plays and put on for him and this organization, so it's awesome playing for Vrabel. And I saw this video. They've posted every single game, whether it's a win, specifically when it's a win, but when it's a lose. And he stands outside of the locker room and daps up, gives every single player a hug. And it just shows that he cares about every single player on this team. Doesn't matter if you're the last one on the roster or you're the captain like Mike Vrabel. Like, it is a huge, huge culture change. And I want to talk about like last year's Bills game. He has cemented in their hands that they can win this game. And if we go back to last year, the Patriots with Drake Maye, they went up 14-0. And then they ended up losing the game by a field goal. This game on Sunday, you held. Like, even though you gave the ball back and they ended up scoring a touchdown and tying this game up, the Patriots stayed composed and stayed that fight. They still had that fight in them, and they ended up winning the game. And now, I will say on a negative note, that despite the culture, they still need to lower the turnovers. Ramondre Stevenson fumbled the ball on Sunday. Last week against the Panthers, you didn't have any, but then against the Steelers, you had 5 turnovers. You had multiple every single game. Drake Maye threw an interception in the first game against the Las Vegas Raiders, and you got to lower the turnovers. But you also have to lower the penalties. Patriots have 43 penalties, which is second most in the NFL. Well, you want to talk about the culture? Well, you got to play disciplined football. And I know that's something that Vrabel would love to get going. And we know, as we go back into the Steelers game, the penalties and the turnovers, they bite you right in the ass because you lost by 1 possession. You lost by 7 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers now have the tiebreaker over you. But if you win that game by just not turning the ball over once, that's all you had to do. Just not turn the ball over once. You score a touchdown on that play before half. Ramondre Stevenson doesn't fumble going into the end zone. You win that game. You have to clean up. But I know that Coach Vrabel is making it a lot better throughout his time here and has completely changed everything going into this season from what we saw with the Patriots the last 5 years, even with Bill Belichick, who we can see is clearly ruining his legacy. Show some love to Coach Vrabel down in the chat. Show some love. Spam your 50s down in the comments section because he's changed it. He's brought this vibe, this kind of aura back to the New England Patriots organization. And a lot of people, including, we saw those comments from Colin Cowherd that it is also going to be where the Patriots, they're on the up. Coming up next, we're going to get to what else Colin said about the New England Patriots involving, wink, wink, the postseason. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineup in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. I made a lineup for this weekend, and I think with Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis there, Rashid Shaheed, Stephon Diggs, it's got to happen at some point, ladies and gentlemen. Give me the more on a touchdown for him. And Travion Henderson with Antonio Gibson out, I think that he's going to get another touchdown, so give me a more on that one. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, what else did Colin Cowherd say about the New England Patriots? He had like a little 5-minute segment. So he talked about the culture, and after talking about the culture, it led him to believe and him saying that the Patriots are going to make the 2025 NFL playoffs. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I mean, with the schedule that they have, it really, really makes sense that the Pats have the biggest opportunity out of any other team to make the postseason. But here is Colin Cowherd's exact quote on them making the playoffs. He said the same with Drake Maye. It's not about the bad throws. It's about can you make the big throws? And Drake Maye last night made 4 of them. And then he later went to go say, this is what a playoff team looks like. They check off all the boxes a playoff team does. The toughness, the resilience, can win on the road. Excellent young QB. They've spent their money in the right places. And we can see clearly that this is a massive upgrade from last year. Last year, you didn't have Christian Barmore because he was out with the blood clots. You didn't have Milton Williams. You didn't have Harold Landry. You didn't have K'Lavon Chason. It is a massive upgrade on the defense. You didn't have Robert Spillane. Look at all the players I'm naming that you brought in from this year. And then on offense, well, a big reason that the offense is doing so well because you still had Ramondre Stevenson. You did upgrade the offensive line. You had Drake Maye, who's kind of ascending into a top quarterback, but it's Josh McDaniels as a gigantic reason why the Patriots offense is being so successful. And Colin mentioned McDaniels as that big reason why they're playing so good. And it's clear that you can see the difference between last year's offense with Alex Van Pelt, who, I mean, honestly, he sucked. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. And you could see the yardage here with 292 in 2024 And then this year, 336. The passing yards, Drake Maye still played 13 games last year, and you didn't even average 200 yards passing per game. That goes all the way up to 241. The turnovers per game is still there, but look at the points per game. 17 to 25 points per game. This team is a whopping 5,000, 100,000, whatever you want to call it. It is completely different from last year. And the offense, besides the offensive line, is slightly similar. Kayshon Boutte's still here. Pop Douglas is still here. Hunter Henry's still here. Well, like Ramondre Stevens, the list goes on and on about the offense. You just added Stephon Diggs, but it's the offense that Josh McDaniels runs that just fits Drake Maye perfectly, and it's helped this team exceed from going up and up and up, and I think it's just going to get better. Now, there was some pushback on Fox Sports on their win after Sunday. Chris Broussard, who I personally think is an idiot, but he was not impressed at the Patriots' win on Sunday. I don't even know how he's still on Fox Sports after what he said about James Harden, but that's neither here nor there. Chris Broussard, he was like, well, the Patriots have proven nothing. The Bills were going to lose a game at some point. And he brought up previous years. He was like, well, Mac Jones beat them a couple years ago. The Patriots always end up beating the Buffalo Bills. It just happens. Well, I mean, come on now. Like, it just, and he said a darn thing. Maybe they proved that no one's going 17-0 this year. The Bills were going to lose to somebody. Now, he did have praise for Drake Maye, and he was talking about how he looked good. He's looked good the past couple of games, throwing over for 100 passer rating. And, I mean, the stats, they don't lie. If you look at the PFF grades, even he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. 74 completion percentage, 1,261 yards. He's on pace for 4,000, and, of course, 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We got to keep that number low, and you can see 108 QB rating. It looks good. Now, where I agree with Chris Broussard is that he said, all right, well, just beat the Saints, then beat the Titans, and then beat the Browns. And then we can start to have a conversation on if the Patriots are a really, really good team, or did they just get a fluky win against the Buffalo Bills? I don't think it was a fluky win against the Buffalo Bills. I think they're a good team, but I do agree that you have to beat the Saints. You have to beat the Titans, and you have to beat the Browns, because those three teams are awful. Show that you can beat those teams and then prove that you are going to make the postseason, because if you beat those three teams, well, guess what? Then you have 6 wins. And you still have a bunch more games to go. Do the Patriots make the playoffs? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a yes or give me a no. I'm going to go with my yeses. I think the Patriots are going to make the playoffs now that a bunch of teams are now out, including, I don't think the Ravens are making it. So go down in the comments section. And while you're down there, also hit that sub button. We're giving you Patriots coverage every single day. And then we got a watch party on Sunday. So make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss out on anything. And as always, let's go Pats.